Welcome to Real Estate 101. I'm your host, Maggie Cox. And coming up on today's show, the life and legacy of Arthur Erickson. We'll tour an Erickson-designed home in Vancouver and we'll meet his nephew, Jeffrey. Also, the difference between buying new versus resale. And we'll also meet a couple who's looking to move up in the real estate market. That's all coming up and more on Real Estate 101.
This week on Real Estate 101, interview with Jeffrey Erickson, the nephew of legendary architect Arthur Erickson. Partners James and Marcus search for their ideal home. Crystal sits with the president of the Greater Vancouver Home Builders Association, Peter Simpson. Last but not least, we're busting myths with Eugene Clark.
Hi, my name is James and this is my partner Marcus. We're in the market for a new home. We've been in this one for almost 10 years now. We've been in it since 2001. It's a nice home, but it's old. It's older and got some issues with the heating and the kitchen needs an update. We're looking for a house with some new stuff, new amenities, a nice dishwasher, a good view would be very handy. One of the things we're looking for is a lot of space because we're looking to adopt and we want to grow a family. We want to have a lot of room. We want to be able to expand and, like I said earlier, a new home, something that we can settle into for a while.
Marcus and James want to look at new properties, so I've lined up 3 that I'm really excited to take them through. One of them is a brand new build, not quite finished. The other is a brand new build that is finished, and the third is a home that's about 5 or 6 years old. So they'll see the full range of properties in that newer category. So this is going to be the first house that we're going to show you guys today. I think it fits most of the needs and wants that you had outlined to me. As we walk in, I just want to highlight a few things. We'll go through and then you can ask me questions as we go through. 10-foot ceilings throughout the main level, so it gives a nice airy feel.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, so I think it kind of fits that, and you know, you both want the home that has the, you know, you can be cooking and entertaining and the nice open feel.
I love that stove. Makes so much good use out of that stove.
You can see that the fridge is kind of with the same custom cabinetry, so it's beautiful. Yeah, it's got that nice, not too much fridge feel.
I like how it feels. I like how the lighting works in here. The lighting in the top cabinets and the tile work. It's pretty much exactly what I was looking for, actually, to tell you the truth.
Okay, you can see out back, one of the benefits of this property is the laneway house. None of the other properties we'll look at today has this. It is a 1-car garage, but it also has a suite in it that's around 580 square feet, and it's all suited. It's all with a kitchen and multiple uses. You know, you can use it for your office, you can use it for your friends when they come to stay, and or you could even rent it out. Okay, let me show you guys upstairs. So I'm going to take you guys through the master bedroom first. One of the features that I think you're really going to like is the built-in closets organizing. You know, coming from where you are, it's that's a real bonus. And in the bathroom, another wonderful feature is that it has a built-in steam and the jetted tub, and of course the radiant floors. You can feel that on your feet.
Wow, that's great.
It's really nice.
Those are large capacity. That's definitely handy, especially when we bring a family into here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's go see the next home. Okay, so this is the next home we're going to be looking at today. And one of the main differences you're going to find in this home over the other homes we've looked at today is the views. When we get upstairs, you'll see sweeping city views. But let's start in the main. So here we have a little, you can use it for your den, office, little nook, nice built-in fireplace.
Nice gas stove. I love cooking with gas stoves. The fridge is
this is the fridge.
there.
Yeah, open up, have a peek.
Wow.
One thing I want to point out to you guys is there is the security system built in, and there is a monitor on this level. You'll be able to tap that in, tie it in with your iPhones.
Well, that'll be
That's great.
As we head back over into the kitchen, I just wanted to point out another feature that they've really maximized the space. They've got some little extra hidden cabinetry on the side.
That's great.
Yeah, and the built-in window seating. And on this property, there is the two-car garage. So it's not.
Nice. I like the cedar on it. That's a nice touch.
Okay, let's go back in and look upstairs. So I'm going to take you into the master bedroom first. This house is staged, because nobody's actually living in it right now, so they've just had a company come in to put the furnishings in. So these two rooms are, as you can see, empty.
Yes.
But definitely lots of room. Looks like we're in luck. The sun has just come out.
Oh,
What do you guys think?
This is awesome. Imagine having
I
breakfast
love
up
it.
here.
It's definitely worth the price.
Yeah, I can definitely see being up here in the morning, sunshine down on us. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Okay, so I know you guys really liked this one, but I still have one more to show you, so let's head over there now.
We'll get back to Marcus and James in a bit, but first, let's go back to Crystal in the studio.
Hi, I'm Crystal Carson, and I'm here today with Peter Simpson, the President and CEO of the Greater Vancouver Home Builders Association. Now, with 74,000 jobs in the industry, Peter's leadership role actually has a much greater effect in our lives than we may think. So, I've heard that your membership is actually growing continuously, much like the market is. What exactly does your association membership consist of? Like, who's part of it, and what do you think is the growth opportunities within it?
Sure. Well, we have 730 member companies,
Right.
and they range from developers to builders, renovators, sub-trade suppliers, media, professionals like lawyers and architects, etc. We have a number of different committees
Okay.
and councils. We do a lot of public outreach, a lot of seminars for people buying their first home, for people thinking about renovating their existing homes. And we have a parade of renovated homes, a parade of new homes.
So when you talk about these events that you hold on the consumer level, I've heard that you actually had one last night and was quite successful with registration and with people that actually showed up. So how do you come up with these different events, and how can it actually affect us as, people that want to go and learn more, that aren't members of your association, may not be industry members? Then what is this all about, and how does it benefit us to go to these events?
Well, some of these things I tie to personal experience, and I know that when I bought my first house, I was frightened to death. I was 23 years old.
Yeah.
I had a Corvette and a small cottage in northern Ontario, and that was my life.
Right.
I was cruising, and then I thought, you know what, I need to do something else. I need to get some roots, and so at 23. Sold the Corvette, sold the cottage, and used the funds for a down payment on my first house.
Okay.
And so, but it was a very scary experience. I was, after the deal became firm, I woke up in a cold sweat that night a few times, wondering what the heck had I done.
Feeling unsupported, basically.
Yeah, and then it kind of, you kind of get over that. But I didn't have any support. I didn't know what I was doing at the time.
Right.
So we developed a seminar for first-time home buyers, and it leads them through the entire process. We tell them it's a scary thing, but there's help out there from a number of different sources, whether it be lawyers and mortgage brokers and realtors, etc.
Okay.
They can learn from this. So we put on a 2-hour seminar. We had our 17th annual first-time home buyer seminar last night. 550 young people registered for it.
That's fantastic.
And it's the largest of its kind in North America. So they left.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they left last night knowing a heck of a lot more than they did when they walked in the door. And this is why we do it. It's a completely free event as well.
Okay, so there's no charges for the education system either that you've developed?
No, not for consumers. I've got a fundamental problem with charging somebody money to learn how to buy one of our products.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, so they're all free for consumers. And all we ask them to do is just to drop off a a non-perishable food item for the local food bank, and we usually fill lots of boxes for them.
Oh, wow. So you're giving back to communities as well with this in
We
more
try
than
to.
one way. In more than one way.
We'll continue with Peter Simpson next week, but first, let's take a break, and when we come back, Maggie will sit with Jeffrey Erickson. Closed captioning brought to you by TMG, the Mortgage Group Canada. Think outside the branch.
Hi, my name is Sean Spear. I work with Rain City Housing, a nonprofit organization here in Vancouver. One of the biggest misconceptions I face every day in my job is that there's nothing you can do to help people get off the streets and get their life back on track. You can make a difference, and here's how.
The Safe Home Hero program is designed to help ensure the future availability of shelters and facilities for at-risk families and individuals in Vancouver. For more information, please visit our website at www.safehomehero.com.
Arthur Erickson was a world-renowned architect known for his awe-inspiring and breathtaking designs here in Vancouver and across the globe. And to talk about Arthur's life and legacy, I am joined by his nephew, Jeffrey. How are you doing?
Thank you. Very well, thank you.
Very good. So what was it like growing up in a family with a living architectural legend?
It was a lot of fun. Arthur always was coming back to Vancouver with wonderful gifts for us from all over the world. He was a collector himself, and so he, for example, me and my brother would get things like exotic daggers from Damascus or somewhere like that. My sister would get these beautiful dolls from every country in the world. It was really wonderful. But there was always something going on, you know, and his office was one of the most exciting places in Vancouver at that time, you know, and it was very inspiring for us, all of us.
And a great deal of meaning went into Arthur's architecture. I was doing some reading about the law courts here in downtown Vancouver and about how that building symbolized the transparency of the Canadian law system. It's very interesting to read about all of the thought that goes into, or that went into, his buildings.
Yes, and very often, like when the law courts went in, people thought this is so radical, but the city's grown up around it, and it's a breath of air in the middle of a congested city, you know, with parks and open spaces, and he felt the city needed that, and also that he didn't like the way courts were at the time, so of course he challenged that. And said, well, why can't they be open, a place where you know, people can go in and see what's going on, rather than, you know, closed off with a big facade to the public. It was the opposite.
You speak of houses, and we were just chatting earlier about the house that Arthur lived in. It was on a big lot in Point Grey, but it wasn't a huge, expansive space. Tell me about it.
No, he didn't design it really at all. It was a garage with which he bought the property because he liked the garden, and so he turned the garden into a little paradise. And but the house was very modest. In fact, it was even a joke to some. He told me that he had a prince from Arabia over there once who was joking about where he slept, you know, up in this loft space, back in the time when there was no such thing as loft spaces, you know, anywhere. But there was no separate bedroom. I mean, that was it. It was wide open. He didn't mind. He had a beautiful studio there overlooking this tranquil garden. So.
I think that's neat. I think that says a lot about him as a person. Now, from a real estate perspective, how has Arthur influenced the real estate landscape here in Vancouver?
Well, I think he's helped to give Vancouver a reputation for daring and innovation with some of his designs, because they've become renowned around the world. So it's helped, you know, really give Vancouver a good reputation. And also he's been involved with a lot of the planning, even like False Creek area and Vancouver, Cole Harbour, a number of areas.
And here we are in the Erickson, which is one of Arthur Erickson's later designs. Tell me about this building. It's interesting. It's sort of built on a curve so that each suite has a view of the water.
Yes, I think, you know, the idea was to maximize the views, the setting, and you know, to create a lot of open areas and to really experience, you know, Vancouver.
And you were mentioning another building that will hopefully be built, the Ritz, and it will be built on a curve as well.
It's actually a twisting building.
Twist, okay.
Arthur said, well, let's do the twist. And he was a dancer, by the way, but he did the twist with the Erickson and again with the Ritz-Carlton, which is currently undergoing some floor plan changes on the interior, but I understand it's going to be going up and it's going to be spectacular.
And it will be one of the highest buildings in Vancouver.
Apparently the highest, yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Fascinating life.
Okay.
Stay tuned after the break as we continue with Marcus and James.
Hi, my name's Heather and this is Ian. We live in Strathcona. Ian goes to Hastings Street Early Learning Preschool. It was tough to get Ian in preschool because he faces some developmental challenges, but they were willing to take him in and work with him there. It was great because they've helped us work on some of his behavioral issues and were able to connect us with other resources within the community.
I really want that house, honey, but I'm so confused. All these mortgage terms and rates and options. And we have how many banking appointments next week? Why does it have to be so complicated?
And you wouldn't believe how fast and easy it was to get a mortgage. Our broker at TMG, the mortgage group, took care of everything from paperwork to shopping around to all the banks. He even negotiated a great deal on our behalf. Oh, and get this, he was paid by the bank. So for us, it was free.
You're kidding.
When you need a mortgage, think outside the branch. Talk to TMG, the mortgage group.
Welcome back to Real Estate 101. It is time now for our top 10 segment, and there are a ton of misconceptions out there about buying and selling new and resale properties. And in order to dispel some of those myths, we have our real estate expert Eugene Klein on hand. Hi, Eugene.
Hi, Maggie. How are you?
Very good. So, Eugene, let's start with the basics. What's the difference between buying new and resale property?
Yep. Well, when you're looking at new versus resale, a couple of things for both. Resale properties are really about buying older properties. Sometimes they're 3-4 years old, sometimes 100. So you're buying into more mature neighborhoods, mature landscaping. You've got issues about looking into the future about how well a property might perform over time. In the new market, you have the ability to do a couple of things. The first is you're buying leading architecture. You have the ability to customize somewhat with the developer, choose your colors, choose your appliances, and buy into emerging markets. So you've got considerations for both, lifestyle considerations as well as budget considerations.
And when you're buying new, how do you know that you're buying something of quality? I mean, you can look into the developer and the architect's reputation, but how do you know that what you're buying is going to last and sustain?
For sure. Well, you've got for sure a 2, 5, and 10 warranty that's going to go with all your new developments. That's a start. But you also want to look at the track record of the developer and look at how many claims on warranty they have. Talk to previous homeowners that have bought into past developments. When you're considering the developer that you want to buy into, look at their track record. Are they into it for the 20 to 25 year or 50 year haul and keep building into those markets that they really enjoy to build, and they're building a brand that's bigger than the single development they are. They want people to follow them in trend. And so that's what you want to look for.
Right. And how do you know whether you're overbuying or not?
Well, overbuying is really a consideration of whether it's new or it's used. Overbuying is a question of market. You want to look at the numbers, the sales comparables, and find out what are people paying for and what's valuable features in the type of property that they want to buy. Mm-hmm. So you want to avoid a property where someone's put a bunch of money into it with really no cause or effect. If they overbuild a wine cellar in their property, that's going to be problematic because no one's going to be paying $50,000 or $70,000 for the high-end millwork on a $300,000 property.
Well, it depends on how much you like wine.
Absolutely, but then the buyer segment is much smaller, so of course.
Okay. Now, Eugene, last but not least, there are a ton of different terms out there when it comes to real estate: leasehold, freehold, strata, cooperative. How do you know what is the right type of ownership to buy into, and how do you know which one is best for you?
Right. Well, ownership is very complex when it comes to title. But, you know, the basics are, if you're looking at a cooperative, it's basically a corporation that has some interest in land. It could be title to land, and you get shares of that corporation. Mm-hmm. In a strata, you have a divested interest directly in land, and it's controlled by the parties that own it, whether it's corporations or whether it's individual people. In a leasehold, you basically have a lease with a termination at the end for which you do not have any more interest once that lease is up, and that might be a 5-year, it might be a 100-year. And then, of course, freehold, where you have a corporation or a single person or joint tenancies that would then own the property outright from corner to corner of the lot line. And there's complications with that. So what you really want to look at is, again, it's the devil in the details. When you have a strata property, or you have a leasehold interest, or you have a cooperative, is there one controlling entity that might be able to control it? How are decisions made, and how do you affect those decisions going forward? Do we need a majority vote? Is it a 75% vote? In the case of strata, does it fall under the Strata Property Act? Things like that.
Do your homework.
Do your homework all
Great.
the time.
Eugene, thank you very much.
Thanks, Maggie.
If you have any questions for our top 10 features, send them to us. Email us at top10@realestate101.com. In the meantime, happy house hunting.
To recap, Marcus and James have looked at the first 2 homes that Realtor Andrea had set up. Now, let's see where they're off to next.
So this is the third house I wanted to take you guys to today. This house, you walk right in, as you can see, into the open concept. Great room. It has the countertops that are the Brazilian slate. Feel it. You gotta touch this. It's smooth. Yeah. And all the built-in cabinetry. Okay, so you'll notice that the Brazilian slate is also carried through to the fireplace and also on the shelving. Okay, so I've been excited to show you guys this kitchen. I know you're gonna love it. It's got the beautiful high-end appliances. The cabinetry is all custom designed, and it has a lifetime warranty. You've got your gas range, your Bosch dishwasher, and just really everything you need.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Okay, so another little feature, the little microwave
nice.
hidden away. Yep, so you don't have to see it on your counters. They've got the nice rollaways. Okay, let's go look upstairs. The ensuite is all marble. Again, features the double sinks that I know you guys are fans of. Okay, so let's take a look at the master bedroom. It has the Brazilian slate fireplace.
Wow, this is a nice bedroom. It's great. Oh.
Just keeps going. Wow, what do you guys think of this view? You can see the float planes coming in.
That's amazing. See all the mountains, the whole range from here. We'll definitely call you, Andrea. This was a beautiful place, and the others were too, so we'll let you know.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
So we had a lot of fun today. Andrea took us around to 3 different properties. They were all beautiful in their own right. Some pretty spectacular stuff. We had very specific requests about a few things, and I believe she showed us everything that we were looking for.
I think we're gonna make an offer.
But we're not gonna tell you which one.
So it looks like Marcus and James are gonna make an offer on one of the properties. So it's time for us to go back, discuss the contract of purchase and sale, and my work begins from here, the negotiations. Let them begin.
Thanks for watching Real Estate 101. I'm your host, Maggie Cox. If you want to learn more about this show and buying and selling real estate, check out our website. We'll see you next week.
Next week on Real Estate 101, we continue the interview with Peter Simpson. Then Matt and Katrina search for their ideal green home. An interview with Walter Frankel, and Maggie sits with Helen Goodland to talk about living green. Last but not least, we're busting myths with Eugene Klein. All this and much more next week on Real Estate 101.